Well, hello everyone. This is E.G. Sebastian. Welcome all to today's interview. It is my great honor to interview David Newman, one of the most requested interviews by the coaches support group, the greatest, the biggest coaches support group in the world. So very proud to have you here. Let me just say a few words about David. Uh, David is David is a certified speaking professional, CSP, keynote speaker, and the host to the podcast The Selling Show, which is ranked in the top 1% globally and has over 450 episodes. Wow. He works with founders, CEOs, and entrepreneurs who want to build a bold personal brand, become a business celebrity, and drive unstoppable growth. Welcome to the interview, and thank you for accepting to be interviewed.
EG, it is an honor, and I know we're going to have some fun.
Yes, and I'm very excited because I will sound like a little schoolgirl probably, but I have all three of your books, and I listen as I fly around the country for my speaking gigs or travel for pleasure, whatever. I listen over and over, and I add it to my coaching and my speaking income, at least 100,000 bucks, as a direct result of some of the info I got from there. So thank you for putting those out, and thank you for making the audiobook so alive, entertaining. It's so easy to listen again and again.
Yes, well, thank you so much. That's a huge compliment. And, we were talking right before we turned the cameras on that when you do a presentation or a webinar, you like to be standing up. I recorded those audiobooks at a professional studio in New York City. They want you standing up. And so that's where the energy, and, I'm also gesticulating. So all of the gestures, all of the things that I would do in front of a room, I'm doing in this little recording booth, 2 feet by 2 feet, and the audio engineer and I are having a great time. So I'm glad that it came through the headphones for you.
And isn't that amazing? Like years ago, and I know you were there because I bought the first CD program from you in around 2004. But you
Wow.
remember the teleclass days,
Oh, yes.
and I was like gesticulating, and I'm like, so like you always start your presentations like with a show of hands, and I'm like, guys, you cannot see me, but I'm here raising my hands and all.
That's right.
It was funny how, yeah. So tell me a little bit, like, what was your thought process before your, like, trace the evolution of your thinking from the previous three books?
Sure. So that's a great question, actually. So the first book is called Do It Marketing. I didn't really have a very big imagination. My company name is Do It Marketing. So when it came time to publish the first book, I was like, let's call it Do It Marketing. And so that was the beginning. And of course, that was about small business marketing, entrepreneurs, business owners, etc. I realized looking back, about 30% of that book was about selling because people initially think they have a marketing problem, but they really have a sales problem. So, anyway, we had some fun with that. And then, as you know, and as I know, speaking is not only a great revenue generator, it's also a great lead generator. So between 2013 and 2020, I really shifted my business to working almost exclusively with speakers and consultants who speak, and coaches who speak, and trainers who speak, and executives who speak. So it was natural to write the second book called Do It Speaking on that exact topic. My timing, however, was not good because Do It Speaking came out in January of 2020. Unbeknownst to me, 3 months later, the pandemic would shut the world down, and there's no more speaking, no more conferences, no more live events of any kind. So now we have speaking as a lead generator, speaking as a revenue generator, both for entrepreneurs and executives who want to build their personal brand. And then I said, let's go back to that 30% in the Do It Marketing book that's about selling. A lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people watching and listening to us, they love the work of their work and they just hate the sales part. It's like, couldn't someone else just do the selling? Selling is yucky. Selling is gross. I'd rather work with my clients, be on stages, be in training rooms, work with my consulting clients. Couldn't someone else just take care of the selling? Isn't there some sales magic that could happen? And so the answer is no. But I did write the Do It Selling book in 2023 specifically for the solo professional expert who hates to sell. I think it's one of the only sales books out there for written specifically, and this is in the forward, it's very explicit that this book is for you if you hate to sell. And then I'm thinking about, okay, well, what are all three of these things going on? The marketing, the speaking, the selling. What's the ultimate purpose of this? The ultimate purpose of this is so that we stand out from the crowd, we stand out from the competition, and we are immediately seen as cooler, better, faster, smarter, and different from everyone else that does what we do and everyone else who looks like they do what we do. And that's a big danger point. I'll come back to that in a minute. So I put together this formula and I called it Market Eminence. And Market Eminence has three building blocks. The first building block is visibility, because obviously no one buys expertise sight unseen. So our first job is to get seen, to get in front of the right target market, the right economic buyers. But that's not enough. So we also have to have some credibility and respect. And the best way to get credibility and respect is to look into with x-ray vision, look into our economic buyer's soul and figure out what's missing, funky, broken, and sad so that we can talk about them like we know them better than they know themselves. And you know you've hit the second one, e.g., when people go to your website, they see a LinkedIn post, they read a blog of yours, and they say, oh my gosh, e.g., I read that piece, I felt like you were talking to me. And then the third piece of this concept is brand preference. Brand preference is what do we need to do to engineer things so that it becomes risky, dangerous, and foolish to hire anyone else. So you are not only the safest choice, you are not only the smartest choice, but you actually make it risky, dangerous, and foolish to hire any other coach besides this super duper coach who does this amazing work, this super duper consultant who is incredibly awesome and has the secret combination to all of your pains, problems, heartaches, etc. So those three things together, the visibility, the credibility slash respect, and the brand preference, that is the formula that we dig into in the Market Eminence book.
Very cool, very cool. And yes, in 2004, I heard it over and over again that public speaking is the number one way to get clients. So
Yes,
for me, it was simply a lead generation tool back then. I didn't even know the paid speaking industry existed.
that's right.
And I got invited to speak at a fundraiser, 100 some people in there, everybody eating, waiters moving around. I was watching myself from outside and talking to myself, saying that you'll get through it. It's your first one. You'll get it out of the way. Congratulations, whatever, life will go on. No, I got two spin-off speaking gigs from that. And they offered me to pay me.
Yes.
And how much do you charge for a workshop? Do you have a workshop on this topic? Yes. I'm like, I would say a big number because the I was in Beaufort and then the conference would have been in Hilton, had like an hour from us. So I said, I'll say a big number, but I will not settle for under 250. I know. So I said 680. And the lady said, oh, okay. Yeah, great. I learned my lesson. I learned my
Now we
lesson.
know better, right? Today we know better.
Yes, and you were talking about the visibility, credibility, and all that. You have videos and PDFs that, but especially in the video, you explain it so beautifully visually, because most of us can't wrap around our heads to all of these components, how they fit together. And you have it so
Yeah.
beautifully with those circles and everything. Like, yes, at
The
some point,
market
make sure to
eminence
share how
model.
to.
Well, let me pick up on that, EG, because for decades now, we have been told as consultants, coaches, entrepreneurs, all you have to do is create amazing content, sticky content, remarkable content, whatever word they want to use. And no one defines what is sticky content, what is memorable, what is how do I create this remarkable amazing content that's going to be a client magnet and bring business knocking on my door. So finally, I think in this book I have one answer. I'm not sure if it's the answer, but it's one answer to what does it take to really stand out head and shoulders above the crowd, stake your claim, really get paid to be more of who you are. Stop hiding, stop playing it safe. In my slide deck, when I do this in front of groups as a presentation, I have a giant bowl of vanilla ice cream, not yogurt, ice cream. I just had a yogurt earlier today. I'm thinking yogurt. It's vanilla ice cream. And I say you can either be vanilla ice cream or you can be licorice. And the analogy here comes from Jerry Garcia of the Grateful Dead. And he once said that, the Grateful Dead, it's an acquired taste. Not everyone likes the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead is like licorice. So the people that don't like licorice really don't like licorice. They hate it. They taste like soap. They're the ones that pull the black jelly beans out of the bowl at Halloween time. They just hate licorice. They never touch the stuff. On the other hand, the people who love licorice love it a lot. And they buy a lot of licorice and they collect licorice from Sweden and Denmark and Finland and Germany and Holland and France. And they have licorice conventions and they compare notes. And there's Facebook groups about licorice. And there's stores that are dedicated to just licorice. So he says the people that like licorice, they like it a lot. And they buy and they buy and they buy and they tell their friends. So our job is to be more like licorice and less like that bowl of vanilla ice cream.
To stand out somehow, be different somehow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So at the beginning of this, you said in this book,
Yes.
is this an upcoming book?
This is the Market Eminence book. Yes, this is my new book that is launching pretty much as we speak. And it's all about the model that you talked about, the 9 accelerators, and then
Hmm.
there's also some encouragement because as you can tell people, hey, you got to be brave, you got to be different, you got to rock the boat, you got to ruffle some feathers, and then people are scared. They don't know, oh, what if someone doesn't like me? What if, let's say you're an HR executive, you work in a company. It's like, oh my gosh, if I start saying these contrarian things, maybe I'll get fired. If you're a consultant or a coach, you're like, oh my gosh, I could turn off a whole bunch of my clients. So here's the magic, and I talk about this in the Market Eminence book, but I'll share it with everyone now so they put that fear back in its place. The only people that I want you to repel, we're going to magnetically attract the very best fits. The only people that I want you to intentionally repel are the bad fits. The people that you would never want to do business with, the people that you would never want to come work for you, the people that you would never want to have buy from you, the people that you would never want to have invest money with you if you're a business owner. So think about positive polarization. It's like a big electromagnet, right? One side of that electromagnet is super strong and it pulls in anything in its field. You turn it the other way and it is a repulsive force. It literally repels things that have the opposite polarization, the opposite magnetism. That's what we need to be. So the best way that I could share this is I had a client who was from New Orleans. He was a good old boy, Cajun good old boy. And I'm sharing this philosophy with him. And he says, David, I can't do the accent, but he says, David, my grandpappy had a saying that's exactly what you're talking about. My grandpappy used to say, son, you ain't nobody until somebody hates your guts. And he said to me, well, David, you have arrived. Because I was talking about some hate mail that I got or something else that I turned somebody off. That person would have been a terrible fit for me. So if you don't risk turning some people off, you will never turn anybody on.
So just be yourself.
Be
And
yourself.
that's the hardest lesson. It took me like 3, 4 years to slowly let myself be myself. Because I'm like,
Yes.
who wants to see me? I want to be like professional and liked, but no, that's when nobody really connects with you. But when if you're like a math wizard, talk about those formulas and how marketing is like this fancy formula, whatever. Like I can get really animated. I will talk about martial arts and all that. So I attract
Yes.
people who love martial arts, who love music, and I repel those who don't like my fast pace, don't like my sense of humor. But yeah, once I allowed myself to be me, my speaking took off, my coaching took off also more
Yes.
effectively. So
Absolutely. Let me share something that is specific to the coaching industry that has been bothering me for decades. And I've talked about it, but now, of course, in the context of this market
I
eminence
can
idea,
see
I think we
already that
can.
this will be controversial.
This is going to be controversial, folks. If I go to 50 different coaches' websites, invariably 45 of them will have a page, either a standalone page or a part of their services page, that talks about the benefits of coaching. And it's some study from the Harvard Business Review, it's some article from Forbes, it's some quote from some management institute. Executives that get coaching, this is a very general, broad, right? Executives that get coaching, 55% more likely to be promoted. They have, better quality of life, less stress, more. So every coach in the universe, 45 out of 50, have this language on their website, the benefits of coaching. If that was a client of mine, the first thing I would say is you got to take down that page because number one, that page is the definition of generic, right? It's about the entire industry. Imagine if, any company that you do business with, let's say that it's an accounting firm. On their website, they don't talk about their specialty. They don't talk about their results. They don't talk about their outcomes. They don't talk about their niche or their target market. They say the benefits of accounting. Well, you know where your money's going. You know where your money's coming from. You know how much you made every month. You have what's called a profit and loss statement. That's awesome. You also have a balance sheet. That is super important. As far as budgeting and forecasting, you know what's coming in. You know what's going out. If you have recurring revenue, we're going to help you met. Every accounting firm does that, just like every coach and every coaching company does the benefits of coaching. So take that page down. I want you to put up a replacement, which is the benefits of coaching with you. What are your war stories? What are your experiences, your expertise, your slant, your biases, your battle scars? What have you been through? What have you learned? What have you done that makes you a one of a kind asset to the kind of person that you want to coach or mentor or consult with? So I'll give you an example that sometimes this is right under our nose and we cannot even see it ourselves. I was working with this former healthcare executive who then went out as a consultant, and he was in the healthcare space. And we're trying to work on his differentiation and his positioning and his value proposition and all of this stuff. And I'm getting nowhere. I'm like hitting a brick wall. And he finally says to me, "Well, David, there is something. There is something. Back when I was a corporate CEO, I ran this healthcare. I was the CEO of a healthcare research company, and our company surveyed 400 hospitals every single year with this detailed, people practices survey. And I must have talked over the course of that 20 years, I must have talked to 5 or 6 thousand healthcare CEOs, chief nursing officers, and chief administrative officers in the service of doing this survey and running the company. I just stopped. It was a Zoom call. E.g., I just stopped. I looked in the camera and I said, could you just say that again? And he smiled. He goes, "Oh, okay, sure. 400 executives per year, 20 years, detailed survey. I've had conversations with 4 or 5 thousand healthcare CEOs, CNOs, and CAOs. Do you think that's something? Do you think I should mention that? Do you think that's relevant here?" And I said, "Dude, that's the gold mine. That's the gold mine." So oftentimes when I work with a client, it's not about let's do some fancy gimmicky nonsense. It's about let's uncover what's already there, and you don't give it credit because you lived it and you don't think it's a big deal, but it's a huge deal to your clients and prospects.
I had similar conversations with clients. One of them was an Olympic swimming coach, and they won many contests. And I'm like, I don't see anywhere on your website that you used to be an Olympic swimming coach. She's like, well, I don't want to boast. And she had some other accolades. None of them were. She was published on multiple magazines. She was on the cover of some magazine.
Yeah.
I'm like, those covers of magazines need to be on your website. Also, HR manager turned consultant. She did not want to put anywhere that she used to work in HR. She's like, she had enough. But no, because that's how you. So yeah, it's we see that all the time where people leave their best foot behind.
Yes, what a great way to put it. Absolutely. Couldn't agree
Yeah.
more.
So what else do you feel like is missing in the world of coaching, training, and speaking?
Well, I think we're living in a very interesting time for people who are in the business of expertise because of AI. AI, Chat GPT, all of these generative AI, large language models. So a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, content marketing, I'm blogging, I'm on LinkedIn. There is 100 times the noise that there was before November of 2022, which is when Chat GPT sort of went big time and exploded. So, how can I possibly compete with all of the robots and all of the AI and all of the agents and all of the spam bots that are spitting out content a million miles an hour? And the answer is you can't and you shouldn't compete with that. I want to talk about signal to noise ratio, right? If we're in that same channel doing the same thing, trying to compete with AI, the problem with AI, the reason it's such a fierce competitor, if we look at it in the traditional sense, AI is instant, perfect, and free. Now, you and I can argue about perfect because there's things like math and facts that it's still not 100% on, but it's perfect enough. So, instant, perfect, and free. Where can coaches, consultants, HR executives, people who want to make a name for themselves, people who want to elevate out of that signal to noise ratio into a pure signal type of communication that's a beacon and pulls in all the best opportunities and all the best people and all the best leads and prospects and so forth? Three areas where we need to start creating content, whether it's video content, written content, podcasts, things like this that we're doing, live streams, interviews. The three areas are number one, how to think, not how to. How to is dead. AI can do all the how to content from now until the end of time. But how to think is a higher level strategic analytical exercise in questioning the current status quo, poking holes and challenging the traditional thinking.
Current
So
beliefs.
how to think is a uniquely human sort of thing. I want to share a little bit of encouragement why people's like, well, why should I put how to think content out there? Low level people, they want their questions answered. Having your questions answered, that's how to content. AI can answer all the questions in the universe. Low level people want their questions answered. High level people want their answers questioned. They want their answers questioned. So you come in, you have a new how to think framework or formula or model or method. People are going to listen because it's different. It's uniquely you. It is human. It literally has your thumbprint on it. So, how to think is content type number one. Number two is what to believe. And here's where it starts to get risky. We have to have a point of view. We have to have some belief shifting ideas. We have to be contrarian. We have to be willing to upset the apple cart and rock the boat and make waves and whatever other metaphor you want to use. But we have to share with the world what is missing, funky, broken, and sad, and why they're doing it wrong, why they're thinking about it wrong, and self-soothing delusions need to be crushed. Myths need to be busted. Traditional thinking needs to be taken off the pedestal. And you, the world according to you, world according to EG, world according to David, we need to be the truth tellers. We need to be the truth seekers and the truth tellers, telling people what's really going on, what to believe, what not to believe, what's the truth of the situation, what are the myths, what are the self soothing delusions, what are people telling themselves that are partial truths or half truths and not quite accurate about whatever area of expertise you have. Could be life coaching, business coaching, marketing, sales, leadership, HR, any of these different things. So you need to have some shift beliefs, contrarian thinking. And there's some exercises and tools in the book that help people with that. So it gets very, very granular, very specific. The third kind of content, the third kind of conversations that you need to be having with your target market is how to get ready for what's coming next. A little bit of future casting, a little bit about trend watching. So, how can you help your target market see around corners and get ready for what's coming next? Because high level people, if we're selling into a B2B space, if we're selling into an entrepreneur space, business owners, CEOs, executives, they hate nothing more than being blindsided, surprised, and ambushed. Not by people necessarily, but by circumstances, by forces beyond their control. Like, why didn't we see this coming? Oh my gosh, I wish we had someone smart that could have seen 6 months out, or 3 months out, or 1 month out. We could have been prepared. We could have had a contingency plan. We could have had a new product in the marketplace by now. Why didn't we see this coming? Or a competitor popped out of nowhere. They're eating our lunch. Where did that come from? How come we didn't know about that? So, those three areas, I'll just recap them really quickly. If we double down and triple down on those three areas, we are going to win in the age of AI. Area number one is how to think, not how to, but how to think. Number two, what to believe and what not to believe. Number three, how to get ready for what's coming next, how to be future ready and future proof. AI can't do those things very well, or at least not today, it can't do those things very well. That is a uniquely human capability, and we need to exploit it. And we need to live in those three areas. Every piece of marketing, every LinkedIn post, every blog, every video, every interview that you're on, e.g., every interview that I'm on. I'm doing it here. People go, wow, this is crazy. I didn't think it was that bad. It's like, well, it is that bad. And you have to make some foundational shifts in how you talk to your marketplace. Because otherwise, AI is instant, perfect, and free, and it's going to eat our lunch if we're not careful as coaches and professional experts.
Spits out perfect posts. You can schedule them. You don't have to do, you just press few buttons. So
That's right.
that's what you're competing against. So what I learned a few months ago, maybe a year ago, is that video, AI cannot do, like get on camera, do interviews, do live events, do whatever, but be on video and share that with the world. For most people, it's hard. For me, it was horribly hard. If you see my
Really?
videos from the early mid 2000s, I'm like, hey, I'm E.G. Sebastian. I look like I'm constipated. I'm lucky that I found them on YouTube because I have hundreds of videos on YouTube. I found them on YouTube, so I put them. Hopefully, I put them on private so I can share where I come from. Because in later videos, I'm like, you will see me drink the coffee and putting that. I'm like, oh hey, so yeah, like and I'm relaxed. But it took me years to get there. But anyway, that's
Absolutely.
something that AI can. Well, okay, it kind of can, but right now we can still see the difference. So,
Yes.
but right now, so do you have any opinion on live, like LinkedIn Live, for example?
I think any opportunity to engage, and so very different from let's do a webinar, although with a webinar you can have some engagement. Uh, I think understanding that people in this crazy, crazy age of hyper connection, they are more isolated than ever. And they want connection and they want community. And when EG is doing a live, when David's doing a live, if I see a comment, I'm going to respond to that comment. I'm going to say, hey, Barbara, it's so great to see you. Oh my gosh, that's such a smart comment. That's absolutely where we're going next. And I do this, when I'm on a webinar. I will call out. I will say, "Hey, I see that the room's filling up. We got Barbara and Sam and Fred and Mike and Jim and so forth." And sometimes even as much engagement, as much Q&A as I do in a live stream or in a webinar, there's invariably someone among those couple hundred people who says, "Is this a recording? Is this recorded?" So, my friends, this particular thing that EG and I are doing is recorded. We will still look at your comments. We love your comments. We love your feedback. But when you're doing it live to answer your question, people now feel a connection to you. They feel this community connection. I remember Gary Vaynerchuk was doing this live stream video. He had something like 14,000 people on this live stream. He was doing something for his wine brand, his new wine brand that's the mail order wine brand. This was a couple years ago. And he was giving out coupon codes. It was like a 3 hour live stream thing. And I caught like hour number three. So people are kind of getting tired. The 14,000 maybe goes down to 11,000. And, it says type a certain thing in the chat if you'd like the coupon code. And I will tell you, I I'm a fan of wine. My wife loves wine. So I type yes in the coupon code. And he's there and he's going, Barbara and Steven and David from Philadelphia. And I was like, oh my God, he called my name. This is so great. Like literally all he did was he saw me, right? Called my name, right? David from Philadelphia. Okay. That made my day. It was the weirdest thing, but this is how humans are wired. We are hungry to be seen. We are hungry to be acknowledged. We're hungry to connect with other people. And this screen here, if we're able to reach through and connect with people like the way you and I are doing now, the way we're doing in the group, this is priceless. People will remember you. They will refer you. They will recommend you. They will sign up with you because they just want to be around people that make them feel good. So if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, if you're a trainer or speaker or HR executive, and you have this energy where you realize, people do feel good around me. I work hard at it, and maybe I even have learned some skills, some people skills. But people tell me that I make them feel better or I brighten their day. That you should never, ever, ever take for granted. And I love what you're saying that the way to amplify that is do more video. And I agree 1,000%.
Um, and many people don't know that if you publish a LinkedIn event, and if you publish it, let's say a month ahead, you can invite 1,000 people every week. So you can
Mm,
invite 4,000 if it's 4 weeks out.
wow.
I do in-person events here in Nashville, networking events every month. It's recurring, same place, same time. And when I remember, I put it up as a LinkedIn event. It always boosts my attendance. Sometimes we don't fit in the room, so I stopped
Wow.
advertising on LinkedIn because people just keep coming back. Every time I have people who've never been to a single networking event, so I feel really honored to, they come to my event. So that's really
Right. Well,
cool.
you are one of the original connector and community builders, and what you've built in the group is just really stellar and astounding, and people could learn from it also. This is what people are hungry for in 2025, 2026. They're hungry for community and connection. And if you can do that in your marketing, not just in your service delivery, but in your marketing, you can connect people, make them feel seen, make them feel heard. You will have more clients than you know what to do with.
And yeah, it was really humbling for me, little boy from Romania, Hungarian minority. Here I am years later with this group that just blew up to almost 100,000 people. And I was putting on webinars, sometimes weekly.
Yeah.
But people from Vietnam and Australia waking up in the middle of the night, and
Yeah.
from Africa and all over. I mean, it was so amazing. It's so amazing to connect with people from all over the world. Yeah. And as you said, we feel so honored when somebody says your name, like they post in the comments or you bring them on live.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So it's really cool. So I know that uh, if some people were here live, lots of coaches would say, David, do you have any suggestion on how do I get clients if I'm a fairly new coach?
Yes, that's a great question. And by the way, this is same with new consultant, new speaker, new trainer, new expert of any kind.
Now, let me just preface that I get that question in text messages also sometimes.
Oh yeah.
It's a giant question. It's not something I can just type up a short
Right.
answer. So,
Right.
but maybe you have some wise little bullet points that they can implement.
I think the I'll give you just some quick nuggets that people can take away and really start to think about. And this is not, I don't want people just to write these down and go, yeah, that's good information. I want you to actually make decisions about these next set of questions I'm going to share with you. So, number one, exactly what kind of work? do you love to do? Number two, exactly what kind of client would be a dream client that you would love to work only and exclusively with that kind of client? Number three, what are the delivery modes and methods in which you're a rock star? Not that you're good, not that, well, I could do a 3 day workshop, but if you're exhausted by the morning of day one, you should not be doing a 3 day workshop, right? If you say, oh my gosh, I am an amazing keynote speaker, but I don't really like coaching people. I mean, I do it because they ask me to and there's money, but so stop coaching, right? If you're an amazing, fantastic coach, and you start to get butterflies and tremble and sweat when you step on a stage and you've tried this many times and you've maybe gotten even some speaker coaching and you just hate it, stop speaking. Don't worry about that. That's not for you. So I see so many people frustrate themselves by doing either marketing activities or service delivery activities that they really don't enjoy. So one of my mantras, and I wrote about this in the Do It Marketing book actually, marketing needs to be easy, effortless, and enjoyable. Those are the three benchmarks. So what do you find easy, effortless, and enjoyable? Next question is what client results, even if you're brand new, maybe you did this in your job, maybe your friends noticed this about you, you've got some problem solving secret superpower. What would you say your problem solving secret superpower is? What kinds of problems do you really enjoy disassembling like a Rubik's Cube? By the way, Hungarian Rubik's Cube, right? You take the Rubik's Cube and you're like, oh, look, I did it. And it's your favorite thing. So think about that. And then I also would not think of yourself as a new coach. I think this is such a debilitating self-image and such a debilitating identity that a lot of new coaches, new speakers, new trainers, because here's all the head trash that goes with that. I can't charge a serious fee. I haven't paid my dues yet. I don't have any kind of track record. I have zero LinkedIn recommendations. I have no testimonials on my website. And then imposter syndrome kicks in. Who am I to even be doing this? What was I thinking? I should go back and get a corporate job. Nobody, most people, I shouldn't say nobody, most people that embark on a coaching, consulting, speaking, or training career are not new at all. They're bringing a treasure trove of expertise and experience from a different context and a different setting into an entrepreneurial, expertise based business. So, for example, my 20-year CEO who retired out of the healthcare research company and started on day one, like, well, David, I'm not sure what my secret sauce is. I was like, okay, I know what your secret sauce is, but you are so close, you're so close to it that you can't see what your secret sauce is. So, let me ask you a hypothetical question just to kind of get people's brains going on this. Was that 20-year seasoned CEO, brand new entrepreneur, business card is still wet, coaching, training, speaking, that was what he wanted to do. Was he really a new coach? Was he really a new consultant? No. He was delivering his treasure trove of expertise in a new channel with a new economic model. And that's really all there is to it. So think about past lives, past jobs, past careers, past experience. It doesn't have to be professional. Look at this in your personal life. Look at this in your community. Look at this in your church. Look at this in any civic organization that you might belong to. What is it that you can uniquely contribute in those kinds of settings that has a huge value in the professional world? And I think if you answer those 6, 8 questions, like literally sit down with a pad and a pen, take yourself out to your favorite park bench, library, coffee shop, re-listen to this video, re-listen to this interview that EG and I are doing, write down each of those questions, spend 5 minutes on each question. That's all I'm asking. Brainstorm. You don't need to write a novel. It's just short phrases, keywords, bullets, punch words. You will have a really clear idea of what you should be doing, who you should be doing it for, how you should be delivering it, and even a ballpark idea of what you might charge. So, e.g., you said your first program was $680. I started out speaking as an entrepreneur in 2002, so very similar time frame. and uh, $900 for a
Okay.
1 day
I don't feel
seminar.
that bad now.
$900 for a 1 day seminar. Now you and I are making 10x, 15x, 20x,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We started out and we didn't know what to charge because we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
But I would encourage people, please answer those questions and then please make those decisions, and you will cut a good 2 to 3 years off your entrepreneurial learning curve. People spend way too much time figuring it out, and they don't spend enough time in prospect conversations that lead to revenue.
So you might disagree. Let me know. Not about the first sentence, but everything that comes after my first sentence. The first sentence is that for years, for decades, I've been complaining like why God doesn't have internet. I mean, everybody has internet. Why in wouldn't it be easier to just email him or something? But now we have a direct link to God. So the questions that David shared, and this is, I wonder if, what do you think? Put it in Chat GPT or Perplexity. I use both. Perplexity is more
Yeah.
accurate, hallucinates less, and say, is this monetizable?
Yeah.
And what I found, and actually I felt like I was in Groundhog Day, like I'm reliving the same day over and over. I stopped coaching new coaches because I had the same conversation over and over. Because one of your question was, who's your ideal client, right?
Yes.
Well, everybody. I can help everybody.
Yeah.
What can you help them with? With anything, because I just apply the coaching process to it. That will not work. So consumers have so many choices. If they come to your website and it says, I'm a life coach, I can help you with anything, subscribe to my newsletter. And I always tell people, I'm a psychic. I can tell you how many people signed up for that in 1 year. Says, how many? I'm like, 9. They're like, no, 4. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
pretty close. So it's important that when somebody comes to your website, they should see that, are you an executive who is struggling with overwhelm and can't sleep at night? You put a couple of bullet points there. What is their problem? And
Yes.
they sign up for my 7-day Stop the Madness newsletter, or not e-course, right? Or
Yes.
video course, even better,
Yeah.
right? Now that will generate you leads every day. Otherwise, it's just a waste of protons and neutrons or whatever it's made up
Yes.
of.
I do want to just take a quick half step back. I love your idea of asking ChatGPT or your favorite AI tool these same questions. And I think another layer of prompting, because ChatGPT in particular is very positive and very encouraging. You can put the
Yes,
stupidest idea into
yes,
ChatGPT and it goes, "That's a great idea, e.g., I see a ton of potential here."
yes.
So put in the prompt, do not give me positive bias. Make this completely realistic. Don't worry about hurting my feelings or encouraging me. Just give me the factual analysis of, is this a marketable idea that most people in this target market are willing to pay a premium to solve this kind of problem in this kind of way. You will have a fantastic, and then of course you just do some follow up, right? You do some follow up questions in there. I think AI is a fantastic brainstorming tool. Very, very powerful, but you can't let those fake pats on the back point you in the wrong direction.
So what I do, I occasionally do Perplexity, ChatGPT, and Claude. And what I do, what I say, for example, what topics do executives need mostly, or management teams is mostly high in demand? What do they pay for it?
Yes.
So Perplexity will give me the exact numbers, how many billions of dollars are spent on effective communication,
Oh, yes.
team something something, but it gives me the specifics. And when I see that they overlap, then I'm like, okay, wow. So, but it also gives you the research behind it, Perplexity. So anyway,
Yes.
use those resources because it will tell you if it's not a good idea. And yeah,
Right.
that's a great idea to put there, just be honest with me, give it to me as it is.
Yes.
And so I had great conversation and it helped me narrow down and also I write my proposals. I first write it and then I have it, polish it a little bit. 7 to 8 of my proposals in the past 2 years were accepted. I mean,
Mm.
it's just crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm writing the most amazing proposals.
It's great. Yeah, it's a very, very powerful tool. But again, think about the three things that only you and I can do, right? And again, even the brainstorming AI can help you with. But as far as what we're putting out into the world, how to think, what to believe, how to get ready for what's coming next. And that will elevate you to a whole new level. And even putting that in a proposal might be fun. And that might even make give you 8 out of 8 or 9 out of 8, if possible.
Yeah. So yeah, and be careful because these days lots of people are very smart. And actually, when I read a post or an article, I can see that that's completely AI written.
It's
So we
got thumbprints
recognize
all
already
over
the
it. Yeah,
yeah. So I have to
the
be
AI
careful.
thumbprints.
Yeah. So what else do we need to know about your book? Um,
So thank you for asking. So right now, I believe when we're releasing this, we are going to be in pre-launch, which is a super time to pick up the book because it's on Kindle for just 99 cents.
is it out of there
And
already?
I'm
Is it
sorry,
already there?
it is not there now, but if
Okay.
we release this when we talked about releasing it, then it
Yeah.
will be
Then
there.
it will be there. Okay. So it's on Kindle.
So it's going to be on Kindle first, and then in January of 2026, depending on when you come across this video, January of 2026, it's also going to be in hard copy and audible.com. But right now, for the folks that are watching this in, let's say, November of 2025, you can go to marketeminence.com. There's going to be a little button there to buy it on Kindle for 99 cents. There's all kinds of companion tools, downloads, resources, training videos, lost chapters. And it's funny, we're talking about AI because I decided in the bonus material to create a Market Eminence AI prompt power pack. So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of prompts that you can literally copy and paste into your favorite GPT tool and start to work on your market eminence even before you finish reading the book.
How did you call it? You said that there will be a button and there will be also some gifts, but you
Some
call
some bonus resources. Yeah, so the
yeah,
one button to buy the book
yeah,
for the 99 cents, the next button down is going to be to get all the free resources, downloads and training.
yeah. And sometimes you get some bonus that bonus, schmonus, whatever.
Yes.
David's bonuses are applicable, implementable, very easy to read, very easy to implement. So yeah, that alone, I mean, I know that some people will buy the book just to get the bonuses.
Probably. Probably. And that's okay with me. That is okay with me, my friends. So
No, no,
thank
no.
you.
The book also sounds like it will be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anything else before we wrap up?
Well, as a parting thought, whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, whether you're an HR executive, and I hear a lot of HR executives talk about they want to get a seat at the table. They want to have more status and more respect in the organization. Even if you're a CHRO, right? You're a chief HR officer. They're often seen as a second-class citizen for some reason. Executives, entrepreneurs, coaches, HR people, if you want to raise your profile and build a permanent career asset or a permanent entrepreneurial asset, the ideas in the Market Eminence book will help you elevate, escalate, and dominate your industry, your target market, and or your career. And so I just wish you all the best, wonderful success in implementing these ideas. And by the way, my mailbox remains open for success stories and kudos. And David, I did this and it worked and it's amazing and it's fantastic. So my email address is also in the book, so you can just get in touch with me once this magic starts working in your world.
Yes, that's one of the most amazing things. Yeah. I have my I have my email and my phone number in the book.
Yeah.
And so it's always amazing when you get these phone calls or emails, um, like you touched somebody's life, made a difference. Really
Yes. Yes,
amazing.
yes, yes. E.g., real quick, fun fact, when because you put your phone number out there, people call, they're calling the man, the celebrity, the speaker, the author. Do you ever get, "Oh my God, you answer your own phone?"
So I was about to say that, but I'm like, let me not waste time here with my story. So one day, most people are, they're surprised, but they are okay. So I pick up the phone. Agent Sebastian, can I help you? And not this fast, a little slower, but what?
Of
So
course.
and then it's silence, and I'm like, hello, and this deep voice is like, Agent Sebastian, the author, and I'm like, yes. So oh, I thought it will be like an answering machine or an assistant. Oh, no, I'm answering my own phone. But yeah, he said that I saved his marriage. He's a better father, better husband, and he cried. I mean, it was the most beautiful call, and it was this deep bass voice. It was, yeah, amazing. I got goosebumps.
Really fantastic.
So yeah,
Yes,
but
yes,
that's
yes,
that's
yes.
amazing
So
getting
good.
those. Yeah. So yeah, write a book, be present with videos, create courses, stand out. Listen back to this, watch back this. Well, if you're listening, yeah, listen back to this interview.
Yes.
Lots of great nuggets in here. Thank you so much, David. How can people get in touch with you?
So my main website is doitmarketing.com, and all of the companion resources, tools, downloads that go with the book are at marketeminence.com.
And there are
And
some amazing.
my email is simply david@doitmarketing.com, and I'm on LinkedIn. And so, I'm an open book. EG is very accessible, very open to his audience. I am also very accessible and very open to, anyone who needs a little encouragement, little help, little boost, little anything that I can do to help and serve. I am here to do that.
Also, you can look it up, David Newman podcast. Sell,
Yes, it's called The Selling Show.
yeah,
The Selling Show, and you can also just go right to doitmarketing.com/podcast.
yeah, amazing, amazing with interviews with some amazing nuggets in each of those episodes.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, David. This was amazing. I know that my tribe will love this, and I hope to have you back sometimes in the future.
And I will be, as EG will be, in the group looking at the comments. So if anything here struck you, we would love to hear about it in the comments on LinkedIn.
Put it right here down under the video. Yeah. And so we will answer all of the questions. This will be pinned
Totally.
for a while, and I will put it back up in January again when the book comes out,
Awesome.
when the paper book hardcover comes out. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, thank you again, David.
Thank you, EG. It's great to be here.